Want to be cool? Try being kind first. It is becoming increasingly clear that today, principles of behavior, politeness, courtesy, or even just basic respect are being forgotten, even scorned. This is especially visible among the younger generation, teenagers who have been heavily influenced, even brainwashed by a culture of bluntness and rudeness, which they mistake for personality, honesty, authenticity, or being cool. Their lack of exposure to formal adult environments means they don't recognize the necessity or value of polite, gentle, and appropriate behavior. Add to that the influence of social media personalities, many of whom lack a solid educational foundation, and it becomes even harder to shift their attitudes. You can't change them with speeches. Warnings, threats, or punishments don't work either, but the right story might. Let me tell you one. The teacher was never strict about social etiquette. That's a fact. He never nitpicked about how people addressed him, greeted him, or welcomed him. He was always simple, approachable, and relaxed with everyone, from social elites to farmers, officials, or scholars. But everyone who had ever interacted with him could feel his natural politeness, warmth, attentiveness, and closeness in the way he treated others. It was as natural as breathing. One night, after the final lecture of a major seminar, a student offered to drive the teacher home. On the way, the student violated a traffic law and was pulled over by the police. The teacher didn't use his influence to resolve the situation. He simply observed the enthusiastic student quietly. After reluctantly paying the fine, the student behaved rather rudely toward the traffic officer. When they arrived at the teacher's residence, the student tried to justify his behavior. "Teacher, I'm a straightforward person, and I admit I have a bit of a temper, but that's just who I am. I don't try to hide it. I'd rather be myself and let people know exactly how I feel. That's me. That's my personality. And I'm not ashamed of it. Politeness, smooth talk, what are they really? Just empty air." The teacher smiled and said, "You're right. Politeness is just empty air. But look, what do we have inside our car tires?" He squinted at the student while gently tapping the tire with his foot. "And look at what that empty air does. It makes the ride smooth, keeps the passengers comfortable, softens the road, and protects the strong metal rims." The student stood speechless, fidgeting with the hem of his shirt. The teacher smiled, patted him on the shoulder, and said before walking inside, "Even if you are a strong rim and you don't need that empty air, even if you're willing to take all the damage yourself, you have that right. But please, don't carry others in your car, and don't hurt the road." The student stood there watching his teacher disappear into the house. Perhaps that was a lesson he would never forget. 5. Deep life lessons for teens. 1. Politeness is not weakness. It's wisdom in action. Being respectful doesn't mean you're fake. It means you understand that your words and actions affect others, and you choose to be gentle even when you could be harsh. 2. Don't confuse rudeness with authenticity. Being real doesn't mean being reckless with your words. True honesty is best delivered with care. Bluntness without compassion is just ego in disguise. 3. That's just who I am is not a free pass. Your personality is not an excuse to hurt others. Maturity means recognizing when your behavior causes harm and choosing to grow beyond it. 4. Respect protects everyone, including you. Like air in a tire, it cushions the ride for everyone involved. It makes your journey smoother, your relationship stronger, and your presence more welcome. 5. Every action leaves a mark. You may be strong enough to handle the bumps, but others may not. Choose to be the kind of person who makes the road easier for everyone. A gentle reminder for parents. Children don't learn how to behave from lectures. They learn from watching you. How you speak to strangers, how you handle stress, how you treat those who disagree with you. You cannot teach what you don't live. So if you want your child to grow up kind, respectful, and emotionally intelligent, start by being that person yourself. Be the air in their tires, soft, invisible, but essential. If this story made you pause and reflect, imagine what a little more softness could do in your life. What does politeness mean to you? Have you ever mistaken rudeness for honesty? Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to Mindful Parenting channel for more inspiring stories, life lessons, and parenting wisdom. Watch our next video to discover how a turtle taught a fish the value of open-mindedness. Let's raise a generation that's not just smart, but kind.